Prime Time. I'm Paul Orford and I'm back with Zoran from Breinrock, and today we're going to take on the mother of all subjects. We just had lunch and argued all the way through it because we talked about Brexit. Now, from the beginning, I've always been anti-Brexit. I'm more into the EU. I believe it's the future for the UK. However, over lunch, Zoran's put the counterpoint. I'll leave it for you to decide what you think, but there are some quite interesting points that he comes up with. So, Brexit, okay?
Before Brexmas.
So, like I said, we're not going to discuss social policy. It will just be regarding to the finance industry and business. All right. Now, I personally think it's harder for the UK because you're going to have more challenges, regulatory frameworks, etc. However, you think it's going to be easier. So
I think that basically, even during the European Union time, the English central bank was independent. Okay, so you kept your sterling, you kept your currency. Regulation more or less on a certain level was very close to the European Central Bank, and it's fine, like passporting and this stuff. But let's say that even before establishing European Union, London was a financial capital of the world. I mean, it's not European Union that created London being the financial capital of Europe. It's just London. And let's start from the point where we had we had a referendum in Britain, and where the people of Britain decided to split from Europe. I remember the first couple of weeks, the main topic was that banks will leave Britain. Which bank left Britain? Now it's been, what, a year and a half? Almost 2 years. Yeah. So, administrative office of Citibank moved to Dublin? Okay. So what? So, in terms of financial world, I think that London will be more powerful because being outside of Eurozone will allow the British-based banks to attract the offshore funds, to create their own legislation, especially in terms of new technologies like DG payments, PSPs, Forexes, and a lot of different things. So, apart from the fact that Britain is still the London, let's say London is one thing and the Britain is the second thing. The London is still the capital of the world, financial capital of the world. If you would like to be on the top of the mountain, you go to London. Yeah. So last week was the conference, the one in London that I attend. And I have to tell you, I'm impressed. They are already 3 steps ahead from us. I have to say, although that Cyprus is not that much behind, that we are following what's going on. But if you compare what's going on in London, and you compare, let's say, with the Frankfurt, the second biggest market in Europe, after London, then London is 5 steps ahead.
Right.
In terms of technology, in terms of the digitalization, in terms of attracting funds. So for me, I don't see any major issue of what's going to happen to Britain in terms of business and financial services after Brexit. But if we are talking about Brexit itself, when we talk about the Brexit, we talk about the Britain. Why we don't talk about Europe? I mean, we live in European Union, So what European Union did for us, working with Britain, to be secure and safe that we're going to have business tomorrow? Nothing. If you ask me, nothing. When we talk about the Brexit, we talk banks will leave, they will have a recession. They don't have any recession. This will be the problem. The lorries will wait at the borders. What borders? That was like 30 years ago. I mean, come on, it's digitalized now. Even when you drive lorry to Switzerland, you don't wait on the border. So I don't see. I mean, it's more for me propaganda that goes from European Union because they don't know how to handle the situation. They would like to sound strong, sending the message to the other countries. Don't even think about it, leaving European Union. But on the other side, they're doing nothing. They're just saying yes or no. On any British proposal, it's yes or no, but there is no any solution given from their side. What's going to be to the Norwegian shipping companies that are dealing with UK? They are in European Union. Okay, maybe not Norwegian, but Swedish, Danish, let's say Danish or German from Hamburg. So how they will what Europe did to protect them? I don't think anything. I don't know if you share opinion, but I know you're not for Brexit. For me, there is no anything like a Brexit. Britain was part of Europe even before they established this European Union, and Britain will stay part of the Europe. And if the people of Britain feels better not to have these stars on their passport, that's fine with me. Well, for me, it's important we work together.
My kind of problem is when British people get deregulated, we tend to go a bit mad. Okay, so, you know what I mean? So there's the old saying about investments, you know, like past performance doesn't indicate the future. With this, I suggest it probably, you know, it's when deregulation, large amounts of money and humans are involved, it can be a bit of a car crash later down the line, you know. So how would we kind of protect, because they're not going to over-regulate, are they?
I think that Britain is one of the countries that have regulated the world hundreds of years ago. So they are not the country who is splitting the European Union, you know, and they now have to deal with the regulation. But let's put it this way. Canada, Australia, Malta, Singapore, Hong Kong, Cyprus, South Africa, Zambia, they all got independence from the Britain, from UK. Did UK put them on any sanction list? No. Did UK did everything in their power to make a good deal with them and free trade zone and Commonwealth and future brotherhood? Yes, we have Commonwealth. So this is what I expect from European Union. Also to come to the people of Europe and say, guys, we are divorcing. Mother and father are divorcing. Whoever is the mother, I don't know. But these guys are going out, but they are our friends. And we're going to keep doing business with them. And you're not going to wait on a passport border. This is the 6.5 billion marketing campaign of European Union they're spending every year, you know. And everything will be as is, business as usual. Because I don't think that anyone working for the huge investment bank in London would risk their future staying in London if they don't believe that they will continue doing business with Europe. That's you know.
Over lunch, like I said to you, maybe it's not Brexit, which I don't have confidence in the people actually negotiating it. And like
on both sides.
Okay, so the people who are really at the front of it, let's say Boris Johnson, for example.
The brother of Donald Trump.
But like, to me, he could actually negotiate a worse deal for himself. Like, he seems so inept, you know, that you've got the whole future of a country in the hands. It's not him doing it personally, but his team, who don't give me any confidence either. You know, so sometimes I think if you are just keeping with the same old, it's not so bad, but have a longer term vision of how you're going to get out of this.
I agree with you, but unfortunately everywhere in Europe the politicians are not the ones who are having real life like we do. Like we work, we put a food on the table to our families depending how good performance we had that day, and they are feeding their families depending how good they are every 4 years on elections. So, unfortunately, this is the case on both sides. I agree with you that has been a lot of changes in actually in the British. How many elections we had in Britain in the last 2 years? 3 or 2?
Well, we've had 2 general, the referendum. If you go back from 2010, we've had Scottish, 1 general referendum. After that, then 2 other. So loads.
So, as much as elections are good to test the will of the people, that much they create instability, and you cannot have the common goal. But on the other side, I have to talk about Europe because we live in Europe. What we did in Europe, what is the strategy plan that European Union created for us Europeans so we feel safe as well? That we will not lose from doing business with Britain. Nothing. All what they do is, I don't know, we will see, we don't accept, we accept. At the end of the day, they will have to accept everything what Britain agree, because the Britain is the one that is leaving the apartment. So if Britain will take the living room, they will take a living room, and Europe will keep the bedrooms and the kitchen.
So can I ask, from your point of view, who do you think has not the upper hand in negotiations, like who has, well, I guess, who has the upper hand? Who's got the most to lose? Who's got the most to win?
I think that both sides will win. That's my opinion, seriously. I mean, on a short run, of course, for Britain, not much for Europe, it will be difficult to restructure the economy, legislation, as you said, certain things to point out. But it take what, year, 2 years. But then on the midterm, because we don't know what's going to be on the long term, but on the midterm, I think that both parties will cooperate excellent. And I don't see any issues in the businesses. I don't see any issues between the people of Europe or people of Britain. For me, they are the same. So I think the weak point we have in these negotiations, as you said, are politicians. That's for sure. That's for sure. I don't think they are educated enough to compensate what we are expecting from them. That's my opinion.
So maybe they should just have like technocrats actually negotiating this, where they're not looking to get elected.
Maybe take the best version of the deal between Switzerland and European Union, or Norway and European Union, or these countries, they are within Europe, but they are not part of European Union. And I don't see why Switzerland and Norway will have a different deal from Britain in terms of dealing with the European Union, because geographically we are next to each other, and we actually, Great Britain belongs geographically to Europe, regardless of the country called European. Is it country or what is it? Football Association, European Union. So if you ask me, Paul, in January Guardiola will coach City, Klopp will coach Liverpool, you have Mourinho in Tottenham, so nothing will change. You know, I don't see any difference, and I think for business, I'll tell you from my experience. Okay. Last 3 years I've been trying to work with a lot of banks in Britain. I was successful several times with a couple of banks, but not that as I expected. Now last week in a conference in London, as Brexit is coming closer, I was sitting in a hotel, the bankers were coming one by one, willing to make a deal. That means they're opening up for us in Europe. Before they were saying, we can deal with you provided you have a UK entity. Now they can deal with us provided we are European entities, and we are European entities. So that means, I don't understand this. How you are part of European Union and you cannot deal with the companies within European Union, but just from your country, UK, and now after you are not part of European Union, you open up for everyone. And that's why I see that, as I said many times, they created the Commonwealth. They created all these great countries that we have, large economies like Australia, Canada, South Africa, Hong Kong. So I don't see any issues that they will not be knowledgeable enough to create good environment for the people in Britain, and also for us in European Union who wants to deal with them. So that's my opinion. You know, I in terms of this stuff like immigration and. Come on,
it's so political, it's a window dressing.
It's actually what Europe is doing all the time. They are trying to scare people. Oh, if you leave the Britain, 3 million Polish will have to go back to Warsaw. They will not have to go back to Warsaw. I mean, they couldn't wait to go to London. Why they will go back to Warsaw? It's also like I'm coming from Balkans. As you know, I'm originally Serbian. My country is negotiating with European Union for 19 years. You know, what do you negotiate 19 years? I mean, I you know. So 19 years we are knocking on the door and say, oh, guys, we want to join Europe. No, it's not the time now. No, you do this, and then we do that. And then we come and say, oh, we are ready now, we did it. Oh, no, you have to do this. So even the guy who initiated negotiations on behalf of European Union, he died of age. Can you imagine? I mean, so for me, I see the issue with the Europe. I don't see the issue with the Brexit, with the Britain, because this is the will of people and we should respect democracy.
I was going to say, I thought we got through a whole conversation about will of the people.
No. But seriously, I mean, come on. We had a referendum. The people decided. We have to respect that. Also, the parties within the Britain, the both major parties, should respect the will of the people. So that's my opinion, you know. But I'm very positive.
All right. Well, look. After the conversation we had, I'm more upbeat in the actual process itself, the actual people negotiating, not so much. But, you know.
You're very right. You know why? Because the people that are negotiating the deal are just the politicians. So what they care, they don't care about Europe or Britain. They care about themselves in next elections. So they have to present it. On the one side we are tough, we give nothing, and on the other side we are superpower, we can do it on our own. But the bottom line is that you, me, our families, we will continue working and living together, regardless of their night talk shows on a TV. And you know, you had a European commissioner who just left after these European elections. The Polish guy, I forgot, Tusk, Donald Tusk. He never won election in his country. So can you imagine? We had a European commissioner who never won elections in his own country. You know, but he was probably smart enough, so he got a position to be the European High Commissioner, which is fine. Maybe they should hire me as well. I never won elections in my country. So, but what I'm saying is that when you go to the conference with the 400 exhibitors coming from all European countries, Latvia, Estonia, Poland, Czech Republic, Germany, Cyprus, Malta, all under one umbrella in London, and when you see that we are all going into the same directions when we talk about the finance, when we talk about the banking, there is no politician who can stop that. You know, we are going into the complete digitalization, open platform banking, I don't see that anything can happen what can damage this path, this can stop this road, going on. So for me, I'm very positive. I think that Britain will be everything what we wanted to have here in Cyprus, but we couldn't achieve. That Britain is a more powerful, more bigger country, more strong country that can achieve for us, and we will use that.
All right, cool. Well, look, we better wrap up now because we're going to run out of battery otherwise. But I'm feeling very patriotic. I'm probably going to watch something about the Queen when I get home or something. But no, it's definitely food for thought. It's good to have a discussion about it based upon economy rather than politics and emotion. It's good. So look, contact Zoran. Really, he's an industry Goliath. Is the best way to describe it.
Thank you, Paul. Whatever needed in Britain or anywhere in Cyprus, of course, anywhere in Europe, including Cyprus. Definitely the Breinrock office in London starts shortly after Brexit, probably Q1 2020. That will serve the customers on credit cards and bank accounts. So that's how much we believe in Britain after the Brexit. We decided to open an office, so I am very positive about that one. And I just want to say to people that we should not be scared of what other people are telling us. We should be encouraged of what we are doing and where we are going, and and if we are healthy, you can achieve anything in your life, regardless of what politician is telling you. But about the Johnson you sent, I mixed him up with Trump, I saw him on the TV and I was like, is it Trump or Johnson? Which one is? So I mean, it's like clowns. But this is what we have. This is what we have on the other side. So what can we do? So that's it.
All right, cool. If you're also watching this on LinkedIn as well, I'll put the link where you can go to Zoran's company as well, and also contact him via LinkedIn. All right, it's been a pleasure as always.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thanks everyone. Bye-bye.